Look outward at the sky during the night as it extends into the deep darkness of space. Look far enough to the horizon and see at the cardinal directions great beasts that loom. To the south, a fiery Vermillion Bird. To the east, a shimmering Azure Dragon. To the north, a humble Black Tortoise. And to the west, a crouching white tiger. These four creatures, the four Auspicious Beasts. The four Auspicious Beasts are guardians of the directions and the borders of what the ancient Chinese saw when they looked up at the night sky. As with many cultures, from these observations, these beings served as a way of mythologizing the night sky and providing something to the vastness of space. Each of the four beasts mandates a portion of the 28 mansions, part of the lunar ecliptic as it travels on its roughly 28-day journey through the sky. 7 in the north, 7 in the east, 7 in the west, and 7 in the south. And likewise, the stars in those directions as well are under the authority of the Auspicious Beasts. The first of these beasts, the northern Black Tortoise, Zhuan Wu, or because I first learned about these from anime, and thus their Japanese names, Genbu, is often portrayed as a large black tortoise, with a snake either wrapped around its shell or sitting on its back. The reason for this being that the turtle and snake were both symbols of longevity in the Han era of China, and being attributed to the north seems to denote the cold weather, and thus the winter time in which Zhuan Wu oversees the sky. It also explains the classical element the black tortoise is associated with, water, which is used to symbolize a focusing in and holding back, like a tortoise in its shell or like reptiles hibernating during the winter. Zhuan Wu oversees mansions 8 through 14, which correspond to the asterisms in and around the constellations Sagittarius, Capricornus, and Aquarius. Moving clockwise on a compass, we come to the guardian Azure Dragon of the East, King Long. King Long is depicted in the typical fashion of an Asiatic dragon, long and slender, with pronged horns and an array of fur and feelers, for lack of a better word, extending from above his mouth. King Long is, as with the others, a protective spirit that oversees temple doors and entrances, assuring that evil is repelled and good is allowed in. Being the guardian of the East, from which the sun rises, it should come as no surprise that the Azure Dragon also represents spring and an affinity for the wood element, as wood symbolizes growth and expansion, just as springtime does. He oversees mansions 1 through 7 in the night sky. These mansions correspond to the asterisms in and around the constellations Libra, Scorpius, and Ophiuchus, with a single one attributed to Sagittarius. Next, we move southerly and arrive at the Vermillion Bird of the South, Zhu Kui. The Vermillion Bird takes the form of a brilliant pheasant, one of burning red plumage and constantly trailing fire from its form. The Vermillion Bird carries itself nobly and with stoicism. It symbolizes renewal brought from its cleansing elemental affinity to fire, and the luck that comes with it and the color red. Because of this affinity with fire, the Vermillion Bird is the keeper of summer. The Vermillion Bird oversees mansions 22 through 28. These mansions corresponding to the asterisms in and around the constellations Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. Lastly, we come to the white tiger of the west, Baihu. Baihu is often portrayed as a tiger leaning down and curling about, ready to strike at whatever may cross his path. The great tiger's elemental affinity is with metal, something that symbolizes constricting and conserving, a winding down of what's to come in preparation for winter, all of which the tiger embodies as the year winds into the colder and dusk approaches. Conservation is needed for the winter yet to come, and its color white is also attributed to the metal element, furthering this connection as it looms over the coming bitter days of winter. Baihu oversees mansions 15 through 21. These mansions correspond to the asterisms in and around the constellation Aries, Taurus, and Orion. These beasts have a cultural impact in East Asia, and if you've interacted with any media made in Southeast and Eastern Asia, you've probably come across a reference to one of these characters, if not more. From the Therian forms of Landorus, Tornadus, Thunderous, and Enamorus from Pokemon, to the Titan Genbu in Xenoblade Chronicles, to Final Fantasy. They are everywhere across the broad world of that media. So, whether you look to the stars, to the pages of a book, or even to a screen, these four beasts still guard the distances, looming as sure as the seasons cycle, standing attentive and ready. As always, thanks for watching. Be good people.